Hello, good evening, everybody. Hi, we are from a different location today. And so today is the 29th episode of Real Talk with Shuvo. And today we have a wonderful, wonderful guest who believes in movement, creating movement, social positive movement, which can have a positive impact, making a positive impact as we are speaking. My name is Shuvo. I'm the CEO of Success Zante. And the reason we are doing Real Talk with Shuvo is to give certainty to people out there, to our community, that even though these are unique times, this is not the end of the world. So we will take a short break. We will take a short break, and in 3 minutes time, I will be back, and I will be back with this awesome guest I'm talking about, and we will have a heart-to-heart, real conversation with him. I'll see you in 3 minutes. And we're back. Hi. Welcome, everybody. Welcome again. And so as usual, I'm a very exciting host, and always excited. And then today I'm even more excited because this lovely friend of mine who's going to join as a guest, and who truly believes in inspiring change, and so a social entrepreneur, and he loves to do things differently. So before I give an introduction about him, I would like to invite to un, to unmute or on his camera. Ragulan, can we see you? Hello. Hi,
Hi.
Ragulan. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, no. Thank you for joining Real Talk with Shuvo,
My pleasure.
and it's always a pleasure knowing a friend who has a like-minded thinking. Brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I go into the interview, I would like to just give a brief introduction of this lovely gentleman. So, he's a qualified marketeer and a community development specialist. And when I say community development specialist, he really believes in it and takes action towards it. A founder of different concepts, right? So one of them is Pick a Book. He's the founder of that. Then Life After Retirement, Simbutu, and Apitum Digital. So we will get to know about these different ventures because this gentleman is an entrepreneur with a purpose, right? So which is a very unique combination, and especially Ragulan, for myself, I have found him. He loves to help people, and that's how I get to know him as well. And it's a pleasure and honor to know you, Ragulan, and then to have you in our life. I would say thank you so much for being who you are, a force for good. So with that, Ragulan, by the way, I like your last name, Tharmakulasingham, right? Am I correct?
Absolutely, yes. A pretty long name for now.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Brilliant. So, okay. My first question to you, Ragulan.
Yeah,
Okay. My first question is, here it comes. Okay. Pick a book, right? So, name says it all. So, why reading is important? Why do you think reading is important?
all right, sure. So first of all, thank you, Shuvo, for inviting me. And I think always when I meet you, when I speak to you, I always used to get your energy. Thanks for that. Now I'm actually energetic. I'm going to address everyone. So yeah, of course, there are lots of benefits when it comes to reading. I'm sure you will also agree with me as a avid reader. Now, I'm not going to tell everything, all the benefits of reading, which I'm going to tell few things which I like, or the benefits I think those are important, right? The first one, and my favorite, is always first benefit is you always lose yourself or you find yourself. You agree with me, Shuvo, on that?
Yes, definitely.
Either you lose yourself or you find yourself when you pick a book and read. It's going to happen. See, for example, when you take a book, it's going to open up a lot of thoughts, and it's going to give you a lot of thinking. And say the time that you take a book, you are going to relate it to a totally a different experience. And so it's sometimes you feel the book is speaking to you personally, right? So a book could be
Yes.
even a full book to lose yourself. Even one line is enough for you to lose yourself or find yourself. I'm sure all the avid readers the readers will agree with me. So what happens is, you discover your new self when you start reading. And whether you might be a kid or you might be a reader of a fiction, you might be a reader of a non-fiction. It's end of the day, it's format, right? You might be an adult, or you might be a business owner, or you might be a professional who is seeking a good career. So everything, if you take the first is, when you pick a book and when you read a book, you of course lose yourself, also find yourself. That is one. So now I lose myself, or I sometimes find myself in books written by Simon Sinek, Robin Sharma. So those are some of both of them are my favorite author. When I pick the book, I always get lots of new thinking, thought patterns, and always it allows me to think deeper. So that's first one. And then we have the second benefits would be it's always keep your mind active, the reading. Okay, it doesn't matter what you read and what frequency you read, whether you're a avid reader, if you're a reader, you maybe you're not a frequent reader, but still it keeps your mind active. And even I think research used to say the time that you start reading and then when you keep reading, even it stops aging sometimes. In the sense, it reduces the time as well because your mind actively working on it. So how brain gets active? Because when you read a book, you start thinking. You get into a very deeper part of the book, right? And what happens? It helps you to think deeper. Say, for example, I will anyway when I'm talking, I will try to relate some of the books which I recently read. Recently I read a book of Jim Collins on Flywheel. So I'm a fan of Jim Collins when it comes to business. So I read his Good to Great, Built to Last. So when I read Flywheel, I actually wanted to find out and figure out, and I wanted to dig deeper and research about it. So when I started doing it, right, and it gave me a lot of perspective about business. So anyway, I'm talking about a business which is related to book, a book which is related to business. I'm sure. Of course, it's going to be the same with everyone out there who might be you're reading a romance book, or it could be a thriller, it could be any other related books. Still, it's going to let your mind to think deeper. Which by doing that, right, your thinking as well as the way you look at things is going to change, and also the way you look at the behaviors changes, and also the way you take decisions also going to change. So this is other one. And then the inspiration. Of course, reading brings you inspiration. It could be anything. Reading could be, right? One is inspiration in the sense, for me personally, right, when I read books, say the book which I read recently is Radical Simplicity, written by Alan Ken. So the book is all about how Alan has transformed DHL from a loss-making company to profit-making company. So the inspiration, right? When I read, it's basically started giving lots of inspiration. It was like I'm speaking to the CEO directly. It gave me that feeling. So that is one, and you get a lot of inspiration by reading these books. And then, of course, a lot of knowledge, right? It could be a bit change. Say, for example, you wanted to gain some good knowledge, and it's going to help you. If you wanted to change your habit, it's going to help you. And other benefits would be, again, it changes vocabulary, and then it also gives you lots of imagination when you're reading. So, example, when I read recently, the book I read was Success Secrets of Amazon, where it talks about how Jeff has strategized his business. So I started quickly relating that to my business, right, and then the ventures which I am into. And it started giving me a lot of imagination, matching thought patterns of both of them. So I'm sure the examples I'm taking more into business because I'm a reader of business books mostly. And others you may definitely relate these benefits with the books that you are reading. If you're a kid, the kids book that you're reading, or for a non-fiction or the fiction that book you're reading, you're going to connect. So these are some of the benefits, Shuvo, and these benefits are really great. And I'm sure all the readers who are watching this show will vouch on these benefits, and there are a lot more. I just covered a few.
Brilliant. I believe there are some non-readers as well who's watching this. Absolutely. So definitely, your input has definitely have a lot of value. What you've shared just now. I mean, just few of it. You just look at it when you read a book. Actually, when I read a book, I relate to the book by when I'm reading. I find myself in that book. Books like Think and Grow Rich, right, and Awaken the Giant Within. So those are the books help me to find myself. So that's how I relate to it. And absolutely correct. So Raghu, I want the audience to know how the pick a book concept. There's a story behind it, right? So can you please share the story of pick a book? How did you started it? Because it was a challenge and it became an opportunity. Please go ahead and share the pick a book story.
Right. Okay. So I actually wanted to read those days. I know the benefits, which I'm talking about around a few years back. So I wanted to read, but I was not an avid reader those days. But I had a thirst of knowledge inside. I wanted to read a lot. I wanted to be an avid reader. So sometimes you always find excuses, right? So then I wanted to read. I told two of my marketing team members. Now everyone wants to read in the organization. So I thought of, okay, let's bring a learning culture within the organization. And also I had other purpose in mind. Right now, because of the digital, people have lost this reading habit, and I personally know the benefits of reading. And also we don't have social interaction. So keeping all those in mind, my personal desire of I wanted to read, and a lot of social causes which are connected. So which I told my team, right? Guys, can you all pick one book, and can you all read a book, and can you all present one chapter every week? So what they did was, okay, if it's first, I think it's The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, the very first book, and the next book was The Power of Beyond the Power of Subconscious Mind. So they picked the book, and the people, I mean, both of them were not readers at all, right? And they were not readers. And then I told, okay, just start the book. And the agreement between the team was, we read one chapter, we present a chapter that day. Next day we read a chapter and present the chapter that particular day. And so within three of us, we started this practice. And actually, I personally found it very interesting. One is, especially the book, the insights from the book started giving me a lot of insights and gave me a lot of insights. And plus, it also created an interest for me to buy the book. And even after 1 month, the completion of full books, one chapter every day, and within a month, one we are done. And what we thought was, okay, let's make it for the entire staff. And so both of them presented to the entire staff, and I saw a better change in them as well. They also got into the habit of reading. They also started picking books, and they started talking about the reader's language, and they started talking about different books. And I personally saw a different, the growth pattern as well as the interests among them. So then what happened was, we after trying it within the organization, we made it. We did one public session. So whoever came on that particular day, they said, Ragulan, I think we should do that. And because everyone wants to know. And then everyone wants to read something. Everyone wants to know what the book is all about. And then, even during the presentation, 1-2 lines actually struck few people. And they were talking and they were highlighting that as well. So we made it one session and then few sessions. So we made it public. And initially it was once in a month session. And then we made it on a weekly session. And we started presenting, and a lot of people started coming, and they started being part of Pick a Book. So as I mentioned, now it's a global movement, and we are in 5 countries. So with that one, but we figured it out. It's not only reading is not only for the adults. Even we are talking about the future leaders of the country. Then we started the same model with the juniors, and then we again went and met close to around 60 to 100, close to around 60 HR, the companies, and the companies also very happy about it because they also wanted a platform to bring the reading habit within the organization. So with that, it started. So I'm sure, let me also introduce my co-founder, KVT Ramesh. So both of us, KVT was the head of operation for BNS Sri Lanka. I was the area director. Hope you all know both, know him personally. And then what happened was, we used to talk about books. So whenever he comes to Sri Lanka, we used to talk about books. And then I told KVT, there is something like that. We are doing something like this. And because personally, both of us, we have one thing in common, and we wanted to help as well as we wanted to make positive impact in people. So then we brainstormed it further and further and further. And then we here now Pick a Book is. So Pick a Book is in now close to around, 4 countries now, with close to around 500 plus members. So India, Sri Lanka, Singapore, and UK. And the amount of the energy the readers of the movement has, and then the amount of inspiration happening within the movement, it actually gives us perfect satisfaction, Shuvo. And thanks to all the readers and all the members and the city presidents. Because if you come and ask me, Ragulan, okay, this is Pick a Book story, who wants Pick a Book? I will tell, we are not the owners of Pick a Book. The owner, we never own. We are not owning Pick a Book. The owners of Pick a Book are the readers out there, people like you, Shuvo, you are putting us, and who are inspiring a lot of people through the bit of reading. And then on top of it, our CPs, and then all the others who are connected in the movement are owners of this concept. So we are, as a team, we are now positively impacting people's life. We are also inspiring people to, read. And also the ultimate objective of Pick a Book is to change the sense of self of the participants or the members or people through the wonders of literature. So that's the Pick a Book story, Shuvo. That's how we started. And now Pick a Book is in 5 countries, thanks to people like you and others outside.
Brilliant. Every time I listen to that story, it's like as if I'm listening to it for the first time. So my story with Pick a Book is I have walked in. There was I got a message saying, oh, there's a Pick a Book. There's a book. The presenting, Shamina was presenting this 5 a.m. club. So I said, okay, by Robin Sharma. So, okay, and I'm not an avid reader. So I said, okay, I'm just going to go and watch and then see how it is. It's Pick a Book. Okay. So I walked in. I still remember at the office, the first club of Sri Lanka of Pick a Book. At so at the at the so once I walked in and then I sat there, and that totally transformed my thinking. And then at the end, I became a huge fan of Pick a Book, and I simply love what you're doing, and you are actually creating a global movement. And I am glad to be a part of it, and very proud to be a part of Pick a Book, and definitely Pick a Book inspire change. Okay, so okay, it's not about me. I understand. It's about you, right? So the changes what you are making now. Pick a Book. The slogan of Pick a Book, our mission of Pick a Book is inspire change. So how it is inspiring change at the moment
All right.
in Sri
Okay.
Lanka and abroad?
Yeah. So inspiring change.
You
It
can
has
share some examples would be nice.
Okay, so what we now I'm sure that the vision, what we want is, we want to change the participant's sense of self through the wonders of literature. So what happens, Shuvo, how we are inspiring change is now take individuals. I mean, take Sri Lanka as a country or globe. Right, we have a lot of differences, we have a lot of problems, and we sometimes get jealous about it, and we always go and compare our life with someone else. So you see always a gap in terms of people, in terms of society, in terms of country. A lot of gaps you see. See, when the time that you start reading, Shubho, imagine, and as I mentioned, there are a lot with the benefits, right? Individuals start reading, and what's going to happen is his perspective going to change, and then the way he look at things is going to change, and his behavioral patterns going to change, and he's going to inspire a lot of people around him. That particular inspiration. Within that particular community, of course, it's going to get expanded to a society, and then change in the society will lead to a change in the country, and it's going to be a global inspiration. So I'm going to share a few examples from the community, like inspiration, because see, who is inspiring? I think you told that we are inspiring. Of course, we are not inspiring. Who are inspiring? The members or the readers inspiring others, and they are inspiring a lot of people out. Imagine during your sessions, right? There are a lot of inspired people, Shivo. And when we had sessions with Shamina, when we had sessions with Lee, and all these great all the readers, I mean, all the sessions we did, each and every Pick a Book session, it's all about inspiring. And then I think with the recent yesterday's one, Road to Billionaire, we are one of our Pick a Book proud members. Book, Arshad's book. So then Jay Shetty's Think Like a Monk. Each and every session, who is inspiring? They are inspiring by presenting the book. What's happening? By they are inspiring. Someone who is listening to these sessions, the Pick a Book sessions from the readers, if they are non-readers, they at least try to think, okay, I'm going to start reading. Now, if they are reader, they start reading more. And if they are avid readers, it's a platform for them to share. And then, of course, for the knowledge seekers as well. So how this inspiring change is happening through social interaction. Now, what's currently happening, right? Because of digital, right? We lost the social interaction part, right? Now we are looking at the phones and the tabs, right? Every day, right? And those days before digital, we met, we shared, and then we spoke. And I think one of the book I recently read was Ikigai, where the author said about they selected around 5 blue zones. And he told how people in those zones live more than 100 years. So one is social interaction. The one findings of them is social interaction. Now see, current world, we are losing the social interaction. So how we are inspiring, of course, people are reading and they are sharing and then they are interacting. Right? Sometimes these sessions, right, the readers like you and readers out there, after each and every session, Shuvo, it becomes a very intellect discussion. They talk, they share, they interact. So we are creating a family. We are creating a very positive family by inspiring each other. So it's as a community, we are inspiring everyone and we are inspiring each other and we are growing ourselves. So this is how the change and the inspiration happening. Again, the change, it's not only within adults, with kids as well. So I'm sure like we have 2 clubs, and all these kids are fantastic. The way they inspire people, you can, how do you, sometimes I feel bad, okay, what I have done during my childhood. I always get that thoughts when I look at the kids, those who read, those who are inspiring others. So it's a global movement, Shuvo, and a movement owned by people and great readers out there, and they are inspiring each other through the habit of reading. Of course, the main is through the habit of reading, we are inspiring each other. So that's how the inspiration is happening.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that deserves a round of applause. The global movement started from this very beautiful island called Sri Lanka, and it's a very proud moment, and a proud and a very significant impact which has started from Sri Lanka, right? So this is something we're very much proud of. And thank you, Ragulan, for starting that movement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is social entrepreneurship. And what Ragulan is doing, he's an entrepreneur, but he believes in impact, big positive impact. Like us, we also believe in impact. But what he did is he found a concept which is reality right now, and it's impacting the world, in a process of impacting the world. And I am a result of it. I was a non-reader, and after joining Pick a Book, I have become a reader right now. I read at least one book a month, and I listen to Audible at least 2 books. And right at the moment, also I'm listening to 2 different books in different time. So thanks to Pick a Book. So that's why I wanted to share this beautiful concept what Pick a Book is doing. So Ragulan, okay. Okay. So my next question, we have quite a number of entrepreneurs listening to this or watch this program. So do you think as an entrepreneur, reading can help?
Absolutely a lot, sure. It is. Say example, I told you, right? Initially, you find yourself or you lose yourself in a book. So as an entrepreneur, you are the great teachers. Books can teach you a lot. Now, say for example, like being an entrepreneur, sometimes you go through some hard time, right? So sometimes you may not have anyone to guide you. You do this, do that, right? So personally, I have learned a lot of lessons by myself, and I made a lot of mistakes even in whatever the ventures that I'm having. So what happens as entrepreneurs? So one is the important is for entrepreneurs, right? Rather than anything, they have to keep learning, right? Learning is really, really important when it comes to the entrepreneurship. So right? Of course, you learn by doing things. Plus, again, a great teacher would be the reading habit, Shuvo. So, example now, I'll give you a few books example here, especially for the entrepreneurs, right? Now, sometimes what happens as entrepreneurs, what we do, people do, they see someone very successful, right? And then we start the business, and then we always try to copy things, right? So it's not the case, right? It is not the case. End of the day, each and everyone's journey is totally different. So a great book which talks about the purpose is Start With by Simon Sinek. The time that you read a book as entrepreneurs, the amount of perspective that particular book brings and gives you, it's immense, right? So even now, the book says, you don't don't compete with the others. You always compete with yourself. You are your own competitor, because everyone's path is totally different. So what happens is books like Start With Why, so which helps you to find the purpose, right? And for me personally, after reading Start With Why, it actually gave me a better perspective of how the recruitment has to be, right? When I'm recruiting a team member, right? And these simple theory and these things are not there out there in the theory books as well. And all these books, especially for entrepreneurs, are proven practical methods or proven practical experience from the authors. So one is Start With Why, and then the book I really love is Good to Great by Jim Collins. After reading that, a lot of my perspective changed, right? So in terms of recruitment of my team members, right, my business strategy, everything is basically based on Good to Great. In the sense, it's not about replicating, it's about learning from the book, taking and implementing the learning from the book. So imagine when you have books like this as entrepreneurs, right? Say sometimes you might be, worrying, you may not sure about what is your business strategy, right? The time that you pick a book, of course, you relate it accordingly. You quickly relate it, and then what happens, right? You start implementing it. So as entrepreneurs, it's not about reading, just reading. See whether you can implement what actually clicks you. And we have books. Say, for example, as entrepreneurs, sometimes you might be worrying, right? You may have you may get a lot of negativity inside. So books like The Secret, The Magic, right? These books will give you an encourage and boost you up your energy level, and again give a different perspective of you look at the problems and the challenges. So then, say sometimes as entrepreneurs we might be thinking, okay, how I'm going to set my goals, right? I'm going to work towards the goals. Then say books like The Answer, written by Alan and Barbara Pease, and there are a lot of other related books. So all these books are going to give you an understanding of how you can set a goals, how you can reach the goals. Now, personal biographies as well as personal books, something like, as I mentioned before, Radical Simplicity and then Blue Ocean Strategy. All these books are going to give you business strategy as well as a lot of other insight as well. So anything as entrepreneurs, any areas that you are lacking of. So sometimes you might have a problem with, I don't know, I have this bad habit. Okay, I can't wake up early. Or you might say, I couldn't sleep. My diet is not healthy. So there are lots of books outside. For example, I think recently, 2 weeks back, I read a book called Buddha's Diet, right? And again, a fantastic book, right? It talks about how you can, live a healthy life, right? Sometimes what happens is people tell, but still book talks with you with different examples. Then it actually captures your mind. So I even say, if you wanted to change habit, then we have The Habit, right? And there are so many other books related to habit which will help you to change it. Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. Club, as Shuvo mentioned, when Shamina presented, I wanted to read, but when Shamina presented, one of our regional mentor for Pick a Book, when she presented, you won't imagine, it actually captured my mind. So I have that schedule which was given by Robin Sharma. So each and everything, it could be a challenge, or it could be your business, or it could be attitude, and it could be a behavioral. Any part of the entrepreneurship journey, of course, you can match the books, and books could be a great teacher as entrepreneur. For me personally, of course, for me, if you ask me who are my great mentors, you see all these books I have. Yeah, sure.
Brilliant. Wow, brilliant. Thank you, Ragulan. So, how many books do you read a month?
So I have a practice. At least I buy maximum 1 book per week. That is my goal, right? But I buy, and say, for example, if I achieve something, my reward is a book. I have to buy a book and present it to myself. That's what I generally do.
Nice.
I buy the 4 books at once, so one whenever. So currently, like the book I wanted to badly buy is Atomic Habits, which is not available outside. Again, how I got that inspiration to buy and read the book? Because of Sachin's presentation. Right? Who inspired me to go and buy it? It's basically Sachin. And then I buy Think Like a Monk. Of course, Monday we had a session by Azim. I didn't listen to the full session, Shiva. I didn't listen to the full session. I listened to few, around say 5 to 10 minutes. But still, few lines triggered me. I wanted to buy it. So that's my reading habit. Whenever I travel and when I go, I used to read it. And all this inspiration is purely from the readers from Pick a Book. When listening to the presentation, when they talk, and when they authentically tell things, it actually inspires everyone.
Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, okay, some of you are asking. Okay, Sarah is asking. She's listening to this. She's asking how to join Pick a Book. Ragulan, how to join Pick a Book? Okay, before Raghu go into that, I just wanted to tell the audience that there are 5 different models of Pick a Book, right? And so we have at the moment 4 clubs. One is the Office, which is the first ever Pick a Book club in the world. By the way, I'm the chairman for that. So I have the only bragging rights for that, thanks to Ragulan. And we have Embassy, we have Home Tree, and another one is Excellence. Those are the 4 community clubs, and all walks of community can join these clubs. And 2 Pick a Book Junior, with they meet on Saturdays and Sundays. So Ragulan, so with that, if anybody would like to join, how they can join Pick a Book?
Yeah. Okay. So we have 5 segments, as you mentioned. The Pick a Book Adults Club, and then we have junior clubs, and then corporates, communities, and schools and universities. So if you wanted to join a club, if you are working professional, if you're a teen, or if you wanted to get into the habit of reading, so we have all 5 days we have clubs. Monday we have the Embassy Club, which is in Colombo 7, and then we have Home Tree, which is in Colombo 4. And Thursday we have a club that is our on and only our chairman, Shuvo's club, and then we have Wednesday we have the Elegance Club, and Fridays we have Caramel Pumpkin Club. So based on your convenience, you could attend any of these meetings, and then you can get inspired by readers, and then you could select which club that you wanted to join. And so it's up to the members to decide. And if you're a working class, if you're an adult who are about around 18, and then you basically join the public clubs, and then you may have your daughter and son, and if you wanted to create the future leaders, and then you can get them to the kids club. So we have Saturday, Sundays, we have 2 kids club now in Colombo, which is the office club 4 to 5 at Saturday, and then we have the Elegance Club, again 4 to 5. Currently all are online sessions, so they can be there, and you can enroll your sons or daughters for this kids club. So this is the way that so you can be in touch with. You can go to our website pickabook.club, and you can be in touch with us. Definitely, one of our team member will call you and be in touch with you.
Brilliant.
Yeah, sure.
I just thank you very much. I just shared the Facebook link on the chat, so you can join the Facebook, and then there's Instagram as well. So okay, Caramel Pumpkin, is that a new club?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, so I wasn't aware of it. So Pickabook is growing. Brilliant. So with that, Ragulan, so how do you see Pickabook coming 5 years? Well, how do you vision Pickabook, this movement?
Okay, so currently we are in 4 countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK. So by 5 years, Pickabook will be in 100 countries. So it will be a global movement. As readers, you visit any of these 100 countries, you can go and create the network. So what we want is, as I mentioned, we wanted to change the sense of self of the participants or the readers through the wonders of literature, and we wanted it is actually a global. By 5 years, Pickabook will be in 100 countries, and you will have readers and leaders around the globe inspiring each other and making the globe as a better place to live. So that's the future that we are thinking.
Brilliant. 100 countries. Awesome. Great. Please include my country, Bangladesh, to that as well.
That's next.
We will have that. Brilliant. Okay, great. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm in conversation with Ragulan from the Pickabook. It's a movement which is taking over the world, taking over the world like storm. So if you have any question, please go ahead and ask. And in fact, I got so lost in this conversation, I forgot to ask the audience to ask question. Okay, Ragulan, I'm getting some good feedback. Okay, Shihan is saying very inspiring and interesting. That's what she's mentioning. Hasan is saying you're doing a great service to the community. So yeah, and okay. Lakmali is one of our member. So she the club and the office. So she's saying that great chat, Shuvo and Ragulan. Thank you, Lakmali. So Udara is saying excellent explanation about brilliant books. So I believe you're writing a book also, right, Ragulan?
Yes. Yeah.
So where are you at? Nobody knows this side of Ragulan, so right. I wanted to ask him. So where are you at with that?
All right. So I will be releasing the book next month. So this is the book name is Tick Tick, Tomorrow Was Never Promised. I'm actually a pet lover. I love my dogs. I actually lost my dog last year because of an accident. He actually met with an accident and his spine was broken. So I took him to all the vets and I couldn't cure him. But again, it was a battle between life and, we wanted to make him alive. We wanted to cure him, but we couldn't. During that time, that 3 months plus also, he was so special. My dog was so special. Each and everything, when I observed him, I learned a lot from him as well. So I converted all his behavioral, all his activities into a small book which talks about, it connects dogs his activities with human behavior. So objective is, within that within that premises, if he can do so much of thing, the question is actually Simbutu. His name is Simbutu. He asked, okay, as human, our boundaries are unlimited. Okay, what we are doing. So that's the concept of the book, and this starts from the day one to is the last date of his life. And actually, he inspired me a lot, and I loved him a lot. Myself, Kavi, both of us. So the book is all about that. So tick tick, tomorrow was never promised. It's about connecting his activities to human behavior, and sort of a how to say, guidance from his perspective. I'm not telling anything that he's telling.
Great. Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, so Raghu is a person who walks the talk, who just don't talk, but who walks the talk. So I'm really, we are really looking forward to that book, and definitely, I'm sure we're gonna have a presentation of that book at the office for sure. Can I book you right now on the show so that you come and present the book?
Yes. Right.
I still remember the book you presented, Man of Mars and Woman of Venus. So that book, I still remember one takeaway from there was when women talk, you just listen and say So men try to give solution. The book says not to give solution, just listen.
Yes.
And guess what, Ragulan? I tried it out and it worked.
Great. Okay. Fantastic. Good to hear that.
Great. So I just wanted to know about this life after retirement. What is that about?
All right. So I told, like, in terms of now the social causes and factors. Now one is of course, pick a book is more towards social interaction. Bring back the long lost social interaction through the bit of reading. So that is one, that is pick a book. Now, say for example, how life after retirement, the idea came to us. Now, currently the world population is aging, Shuvo. In the sense, even not only Sri Lanka, even the world population by 2040, 1/4 of the population would be at the aging stage. So definitely, even Sri Lanka, 1/4 of the population going to be aging population. So what's going to happen is, which is actually going to create a sort of a more dependency ratio, plus also skill gap, and then of course lots of dependency and skill gap going to impact a lot of economic challenges as well. So that's the main reason life after retirement came. It's about keeping the elderly occupied. Now, say for example, personally, Shuvo, when I speak to these elders, right, the amount of knowledge they have, you can't even go out and match. But the question is, what are we doing to gather this knowledge? Now, say for example, now I know a lot of people, right? They are just at home, right? After working in corporates with all this knowledge, they are just at home. Sometimes looking after the sons and daughters, and say sometimes they love it, but sometimes they actually wanted to do something else, but they don't have a platform. So through life after retirement, we wanted to keep them occupied. We wanted to keep them everyone occupied, and give that support to the country as well. So what we are doing is in terms of finding them part-time employment and inspiring them, and it's also basically a sort of a club model. Now one is even to address the knowledge gap. Even youngsters can walk in and they can even select them as mentors, and the elders will be occupied, plus also even the youngsters will be they are going to learn a lot from the elders. So life after retirement is all about keeping the elders occupied with a lot of various activities. So that's a snapshot of the concept.
Wow, brilliant. So this concept has been implemented?
It is already. We have already done for on 1.5 year, and so from next year it is going to go on a fully fledged level. We are going to launch clubs in terms of the life after retirement on a different locations. So youngsters can go into the club, they can speak to them, they can learn from them. So we are going to bridge those gaps, right? And we wanted the elderly or the aging population not to be there, just be there. We also wanted them to contribute to the economy actively by giving the knowledge, or it could be contributing something. That's what we want to do with life after retirement.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing. Shehan, thank you so much for sharing the mobile numbers. He just shared the mobile numbers, how to get in touch with Picabook. There are two mobile numbers. Audience, please take a note of the numbers and contact them. That's how you can contact back to Picabook. And then this life after retirement. So we are looking forward to that development as well. So on top of your mind, if I ask you to recommend 3 books for entrepreneurs, 3 books, what are the 3 books you would recommend? I know you mentioned few number of books, but I wanted to know 3 top of the mind books you'll recommend.
So my favorite pick would be Start With Why by Simon Sinek, which he talks about purpose, and then why you do what you do, how you do what you do, and what you do. And then that is one of the fantastic read. Everyone should read that book. Even for entrepreneurs, it gives some great insights. Plus, also a lot of perspective changes will happen once you read the book. And then, as a follow-up, you also can read Find Your Why. That's again by Simon Sinek. It's a workbook. Sometimes we are not sure what is our purpose, right? And even sometimes organizations are not sure what is our purpose, right? So this particular book will help you to find your why or the purpose by it's sort of a workbook. So those 2 books is highly recommended. And now, in case if you are building a startup, if you are an organization, I think Good to Great is the other great book that I always recommend. And then the extended version is a Flywheel. Those 2 books, it is actually very, very important to read. And as entrepreneurs, the other book which I would propose to read is 5 AM Club by Robin Sharma. So these are my book, but I'm sure there are a lot. If you ask me my priority level, these 3 books definitely it is a must read for you. But each and every areas, there are a lot of books that you could read. The examples in Secret, and then The Magic, and then so even 4-Hour Work Week. Then a lot of other books are there that will definitely help the entrepreneurs. So these 3 books are my picks today, Shuvo.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So those are the 3 pick of books at the Picabook by the founder of Picabook. Great. So Ragulan, thank you so much for being here. And Zafardin is saying excellent presentation, brilliant. Okay, so Ragulan, thank you so much for being here. And so, what would be your last thought? What is the message you want to give to our audience before we finish?
Yeah. So one is always have some great purpose in life. Don't compare your life with others, right? You compete with yourself. Don't compete with others. And read a lot, and then always start inspiring others. Look at things in a very positive way. The more you read, the more the more things that you learn, and you travel different world. Even without flight, through the books, you could travel different world. And by doing that, I'm sure you are going to change a lot of things. And if you are a great reader, please inculcate the habit or inspire other people also get into the habit of reading and inspire everyone around you. And always my suggestion is being positive and read and be a better leader, plus also create a better society for the better future, and create a global create the positivity in the entire world, and make this world to live make this world as a better place to live. That's my final thoughts, Shuvo, to everyone in this show.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a gift for you. We are having our first online readathon on 24th of this month, and I will be sharing the link on the chat after the program. Please come and join, and that would definitely, you will get a taste of how Picabook is growing and what the positive impact Picabook is making. This can be one of the starting point. Please come and join, and then that's an open invitation. Please, and I will share the detail with you right after this. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being here this evening. And I get to know another different side of my friend Ragulan. Thank you for being so inspiring and so impactful. And you are a gift to this world, which creates people around you always. Since I've been knowing you for last 2 years, my life has always been better when I am around you, right? And not only me, people who are around you, they will definitely vouch for it. So that's who you are, making everybody's, not only your life, you're making the whole community better. Thank you so much for being that. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Look out for our next week's Real Talk with Shuvo, and we'll definitely have another exciting guest. We will be announcing it shortly. With that, so I will see you all and next week. And so, thank you so much. Thank you, Ragulan.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Shuvo. Thank you.